When Bernie Kosar spoke about Shadur Sanders, the football world paused for a second. It wasn't just another retired quarterback giving casual opinions from the sidelines. This was a legend recognizing a spark of greatness that others seemed determined to ignore. His words carried weight, not because of nostalgia or sentiment, but because Bernie has seen what true leadership looks like. And when he looked at Shedeur, he saw that rare fire, the kind that ignites a locker room, inspires teammates, and makes people believe. But as he spoke, there was also a tone of frustration, almost a warning, a realization that the system around Shedeur might crush that potential before it ever reaches its full light. Bernie wasn't just praising Shedeur's skill. He was calling out the truth that everyone's been whispering, but no one inside the Browns organization wants to face. The leadership in Cleveland has failed to recognize what they had right in front of them. He made it clear that Shedeur's personality, his composure, and his ability to galvanize those around him were exactly what this struggling team needed. His energy could change the dynamic on the field, could make players fight harder, could give them belief when everything else seemed lost. But instead, Stefanski and his coaching staff have chosen to stifle it. They've hidden behind excuses, fake strategies, and ego-driven decisions, while the heart of their team sits on the sidelines. Bernie's tone said everything. This wasn't about football mechanics or playbooks anymore. It was about human instinct and leadership. He painted a vivid picture of what it feels like to play for a team that refuses to give you the tools you need to succeed. He talked about players who would run through a wall for Shedeur, players who feel alive under his leadership, yet who are stuck in a losing system that kills morale before kickoff. The way he described it, you could almost feel the frustration of veterans who have seen this movie before. A talented young player held hostage by the stubbornness of his own coaches. And when Bernie warned that Shedeur has to stay alive through Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day, he wasn't talking about literal survival. He was talking about the kind of mental and emotional battle that comes with being stuck in a broken organization. He knows that behind every young quarterback trying to prove himself, there's an invisible war, one fought not just against opponents on the field, but against politics, egos, and bad decisions off it. His words were layered with meaning. He was telling the Browns to wake up, to protect their future instead of burying it under failed game plans and denial. It's not just about who takes the snaps, it's about who gives the team life. And Bernie made it clear, Shadur Sanders is that life. He's got the charisma, the presence, the ability to make even struggling players believe in something again. But leadership only thrives in a culture that allows it to breathe. And Cleveland, right now, is suffocating under its own fear of change. Bernie's criticism hit hardest when he started talking about the system itself. He wasn't afraid to say that no amount of motivation can fix an organization built on dysfunction. He pointed out what fans have been screaming for weeks. The Browns' offense doesn't just lack rhythm, it lacks soul. You can have all the heart and leadership in the world, but when the people calling the shots keep putting you in impossible situations, that heart eventually burns out. It's clear he wasn't just talking about Shedeur. He was talking about a pattern, a culture that punishes individuality instead of embracing it. And what's worse, Bernie already knows how this story ends if things don't change. He said that when Shedeur finally gets his chance, people will rush to blame him the moment things go wrong, even though it won't be his fault. Because how can you expect a quarterback to succeed when he's thrown into chaos? Injuries, trades, broken morale, it's a recipe for disaster. Bernie isn't predicting failure, he's predicting unfairness. He's seen it before. The young quarterback who's set up to take the fall for everyone else's mistakes. It's the classic NFL scapegoat story, and Bernie's trying to stop it before it happens again. He even broke down the psychology of what makes a quarterback thrive. Confidence, belief, protection. The kind of environment where even if a player doubts himself, the people around him lift him up. And that's exactly what Shedeur has been missing. Bernie compared it to his own career, how even when he struggled, the belief in himself and the support of his coaches gave him a chance. That's what great leaders like Mike Vrabel and others in the league understand. You protect your quarterback at all costs. You build around him. You trust his instincts. You don't bench him to protect your pride. The contrast with Dillon Gabriel is striking. Bernie didn't need to say it outright. It was written between every line. Gabriel has been given chance after chance, yet he lacks the very qualities that make Shedeur special. He plays scared, mechanical, like a man afraid of mistakes rather than chasing greatness. You can't inspire a team like that. You can't build confidence around a quarterback who looks uncertain every time the pocket collapses. Bernie's words made it clear, Leadership isn't just about knowing the playbook. It's about commanding the room, about giving your teammates belief even when the scoreboard says otherwise. And that's exactly what Shedeur brings. Bernie even pointed out the science of football, the timing, the reads, the rhythm that defines elite quarterbacks. He mentioned how the greats like Dan Marino and Josh Allen have that 2.7-second release, that lightning-fast ability to process and act. Shedeur's got that. He's shown it time and time again, even under pressure. Yet somehow the Browns have chosen to keep that talent on the bench while running the most lifeless offense in the league under Gabriel. It's beyond frustrating. It's tragic. What makes it worse is how clear the problem has become. Stefanski isn't coaching to win anymore, he's coaching to survive. Every call he makes reeks of self-preservation. He's too scared to take risks, too proud to admit his mistakes, and too stubborn to let go of control. Bernie didn't have to say it outright, the message was clear. This isn't about game plans anymore. It's about a coach protecting his ego while the team he's supposed to lead collapses around him. Bernie closed his thoughts with brutal honesty, saying the Browns are stuck in preservation mode. It's a powerful statement because it captures exactly what's gone wrong in Cleveland. They're not fighting for wins, they're fighting to avoid blame. Everyone's protecting themselves instead of each other, and in that kind of environment, no one grows. No one improves. The players sense it, the fans see it, and even Bernie, from outside the organization, can feel the decay spreading from the top down. It's heartbreaking because Shedeur deserves better. He's the kind of player who thrives on challenges, who feeds off the energy of the moment, who lifts the people around him. But how can he do that when the people in charge are too busy saving their own reputations? Cleveland doesn't need another coach trying to look smart. It needs someone brave enough to believe in their players again. Someone who looks at a kid like Shadur Sanders and says, "This is our future." Bernie Kosar might have been speaking as an analyst, but what he really gave was a plea to the organization, to the fans, and maybe even to Shedeur himself. Don't let politics and pride kill the spark before it turns into fire. Because once it's gone for good. If you've been following this saga, you know this story isn't just about football. It's about leadership, pride, and the consequences of ignoring greatness when it's right in front of you. Shedeur's time will come, and when it does, everyone will remember who believed in him and who didn't.